What's up, YouTube? It's Organized Crime Gamers bringing you some more classic NES gameplay. Today we're playing Whomp-Em. Awesome platforming game from 1991. Only available on the NES. Good old 8-bit. Whomp-Em, like I said, was made in 1991. The company that made it was called Jellico. Jellico, that sounds good. The company that made it was called Jellico. They made a couple popular games. They made City Connection. You can get that on. They can get that on the Wii now, on like the Wii Arcade. They have a bunch of classic Nintendo games on there. They also made the Bases Loaded series. I think it was like 4 baseball games for the Nintendo. They also made. Oh, this game is fucking awesome too. This Maniac Mansion. It was like a point-and-click game. It was really sick. You should check that out if you've never heard of it or played it before. Whomp-Em is an action platformer. The way the game works is you're this little Indian. You got your little spear, and you're just going around killing stuff pretty much. Pretty much like every other platformer. A lot of jumping and a lot of attacking. You beat this first stage. After you beat this, you get I think 6 levels you can choose from. You can play them in any order you want. Each level is based on an element, like water, fire, earth, etc. However many elements there are. Every time you beat one of the levels, well, every time you beat the boss at the end of the level, you get a little orb. I guess that represents the elemental power. It's a Native American thing. And whenever you get that orb and you go on to the next level, you'll have your weapon will be better, or you'll have a different weapon. Like maybe you have a bow and arrow, or instead of just that regular spear, you get a spear that like extends farther and spins around like a saw blade on the end. It's pretty cool. Oh yeah, it's kind of like if you ever played any of the original Mega Mans, which I'm sure if you're watching this video you've probably played them. Every time you would beat a boss, your weapon would get like an upgrade, or you'd get a new weapon. Excuse me. Yeah, it's pretty much exactly like that. This is an interesting fact about Whomp-Em. Back in the day, there was these 4 classic Chinese novels. They were considered like the classic literature from China then, and Whomp-Em is a character, I guess, from one of those novels called Journey to the West. You would think that's weird, a Native American a character in a video game that's Native American, that's not very common itself, but then to have like a Chinese background, makes it even more, a little bit odd. But most of the games that we love and enjoy for the Nintendo Entertainment System were made in China or Asian countries, and then exported over here. They put them into English. They gave it the American vibe, because this is where all the mass consumers are for video games. Really, this is where a video game makes or breaks, is in America. Even today, that's the way it is. But would I recommend this game? Definitely. If you like platformers, this is a classic game. Not a lot of people know about it. I don't think it was very popular, but it's a really good game. It's a lot of fun. A lot of replay value. I mean, I never beat the whole game all the way through, but I know I've played a bunch of the stages all the way through, and it's really sick. It kind of reminds me of DuckTales a little bit, if you ever played that for the NES. I know you probably said, oh, DuckTales. I remember that cartoon. That sounds gay, a video game about DuckTales. No. The game is fucking boss. You should check that out, too. I wanted to tell people this. When I play my old games, I go to a website. It's called consoleclassics.com. It's a console CLASSIX.com. And what it is you go there, you register for free, and for free you can play any and every Atari game that ever came out, any and every NES game that ever came out, and any and every ColecoVision game that came out. Now, for $5.99 a month, You can play every single Sega Genesis game, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo, Turbo Graphics. I'm pretty sure it has Nintendo. Yeah, there's Nintendo 64. There's a couple other systems on there, but if you like old school games, like retro games, even not that old school, Nintendo 64, that's I don't really consider that old school, but I guess it's older. But we all know the N64 is awesome. But yeah, $5.99 a month, and you get any and every game. You can play them whenever you want. So, I mean, I would check that out. There's a lot of websites where you can get free emulators and free games. They call them ROMs, but it's not as convenient or as reliable as console classics. So, Whomp-Em NES, check it out. Organized Crime Gamers. Peace.